Here's how I built a 400,000 online course business from my bedroom studio and why I shut it down. I'm going to share with you the lessons that I've learned after 9 years of selling online courses and coaching, and also the mistake to avoid if you want to scale past 10K a month with your online course or your coaching program. I'm going to break down everything in this video, the funnel, the offer, so make sure you pay attention. Back in 2016, I was a music producer, but I was also in university in Belgium. But I didn't want to get a 9-to-5 job, so I decided to make content about music production, and then I started to sell online courses. So that's why I decided to start this business in the first place. So here's the timeline of how it happened. I started to make content on YouTube on the 1st of February 2016. I was doing one YouTube video per day at the time. And on the 13th of July 2016, I started to monetize this content by launching my first offer. It was a low ticket offer, 29 euro, which was like a digital download drum kit for music producer. And I made around $1,000 in one weekend from that. 9th of September, I launched my first online courses, which was 67 euro at the time. So it was kind of like a low ticket course. And I made around $4,000 in a few days from that course. And in December 2016, I launched my main bestseller online course, and I reached my first 10K in one single month. And then the next year, I made my first six-figure year. And in 2021, I stopped this business altogether. I will explain why in a bit. But as you can see, I started to monetize at the end of 2016, made 20,000 in from July to December. The next year, 100,000. The next year, 128,000. A bit of a dip in 2019, and then went back again in 2020. And then I shut it down in 2021. So the offer that I was selling, my best-selling offer, is an online course to learn music production and beat making on the French market, because I'm a native French speaker from Belgium. I was selling the course for 397 euro, or also 5 split payment of 79 euros. So it was basically a video course, around 20 hours of videos, tutorial and stuff like that, and a private community and monthly live calls and some bonuses. So the title of the course was The 7th Step to Become a Pro Producer. As for the traffic, it was coming mainly from my YouTube channel. Like I said, I started to make videos in 2016, and I kept doing that for a while. I was doing a lot of videos based on SEO keyword and also like how-to video tutorials, basically targeting common problem in the niche. And most people would discover me by typing in YouTube how to make a melody, how to make a beat, how to mix your music and stuff like that. They would find my tutorials, and that's how I got traffic. I also did some ads. But total, I did 501 long-form video that altogether combined made 8.7 million views, 59,000 subscribers, and 70,000 email leads. And I also did some Meta and YouTube ads periodically, around 30,000 of ad spend across a few years. And the funnel for this offer was an automated webinar. As a matter of fact, I launched the first time this offer on a live webinar at 197 euro. Then I relaunched it again at 297 euro. And then finally, I made a 2.0 version at 397 euro with updated module and a bit more bonuses and live calls. So people who come from my YouTube channel, watch the automated webinar, and then watch the sales page, and then end up buying. If they didn't buy, there was like automated email sequences over 30 days to give more value, build more trust, and remind them to buy. So that's it. They would watch the video, go to the sales page, go to the checkout, and select their payment plan and buy. And also one upsell, which was a 67 euro drum kit pack, and also some order bump. So here's what I've learned from all of this. What worked well is increasing my price. When I first started to sell online courses in this niche, it was 67 euros, and increasing the price to 397 euro really worked well, because I was able to make more money per customer, so it increased the LTV quite a bit, and for the same amount of traffic, I was basically making more money. Also, there was like a product market fit. The promise of my course was how to become a pro producer. So it's like transformation promise. It's not just like solving one specific problem. For example, how to make a melody, or like how to mix your music. In this specific case, it was more of a transformation promise, that was combining a lot of different problems within the niche, and that allowed me to justify a higher price. So I think that could be interesting if you're trying to sell an online course. Try to think like, what are the things that you can include in your offer to make a transformation happen? Not just like solving one specific problem, but more of a global transformation where you take people from point A to point B, and your course help them go through that. So what worked well as well is webinars, either live or automated. If you're selling any offer below $2,000, I would definitely recommend you do that to transform your traffic into paying customers. And also what worked well was the organic traffic. To be honest, I got some good initial traction when I started to make content, because I think there was a timing factor into it. At the time on the French market, there was not many tutorials and YouTube video about music production. It was becoming increasingly popular on the US market. So I saw that and I decided to make the same kind of video in French. And therefore there was a lot of demand for this type of content, but not a lot of supply. So I was able to capture a part of that market share. So that's what I've noticed about my content. Now, there are a few things that didn't work, obviously. I tried to sell high ticket offers in this niche, and indeed it didn't work well. So the offer that I tried was like a 3-month coaching program for 2,000 euro. And I had around 30 calls to sell that offer. And 10% of the people that jumped on the call bought. So that's a 10% closing rate, and the traffic was from my YouTube channel, so warm traffic, and 10% closing rate is not that great. And even on top of that, most people took split payment. Even one guy had to pay in 10 split payment of 200 euro. If for a normal offer with a good product market fit, it should have been 20-25% conversion rate. And then also I tried paid ads. It worked, but to some extent. The problem is that I would launch paid ads. It would work well for maybe a month or two, but then as I started to try scaling, the cost per acquisition would increase and I would become cash negative, because the offer was 397 or 5 split payment of 79. Most people in the niche would take the split payment option. So on day one, I would make 79 euro of revenue. The problem is the cost per acquisition was averaging around 120 to 150 euro after the initial test. So I would spend, say, like 150 euro on ads, and I would make only 79 euro on day one. And then the next month, I would get another 79 euro. So I would become around break even. I would be like losing money on day one, break even on month 2, and then profitable on month 3, 4, 5. So that was kind of impossible to scale, because I had to put a lot of cash upfront if I wanted to scale that. That was the same across Meta and YouTube ads, but I did spend some money on ads and were able to make some profitable sales. It's just I was not able to scale because that was not sustainable from a cash flow perspective. Then you might ask, okay, you made $400,000 from all of this, but why you stopped doing it if it was working so well? Well, first of all, I was tired of talking about the same thing over and over. When I started, I make like one long form YouTube video every single day for over a year. Each one of these videos were between 20 to 40 minutes, full length tutorial. So that was kind of grueling work. I mean, I liked doing it at the time, but it's just after having made 500 videos on a subject, you've been talking about like hundreds of hours. I just didn't know what to talk about anymore. It was just always the same thing that I was talking about for 5 years. So that was a bit like frustrating. And also I stopped making music altogether. Like when I was starting this business, I was making music like every single day, 1 beat per day. But then as time passed by, my interest just changed and I was doing less music anymore. I still do a bit of music now and then, but maybe like once a month or like every few weeks, but not like a few hours per day like I was doing before. So my inspiration to make new content, get new content idea and teach people about it decreased. And also the biggest thing of why I stopped this business altogether is because I was not able to scale it to 7-figure per year. Like past 6-figure, I didn't find a way to scale this business with ads without relying on me pumping out content and trying to go viral. For all the reasons I've mentioned before, like the ticket size was too low, I couldn't sustain the cash flow of the paid ads. So I didn't see a way to scale this business. And so I decided it was not worth pursuing. It was better to focus my time on something else that I could scale to the level that I wanted to scale. Now, don't make the same mistakes that I made. If you are starting or launching an online course, don't go for a low ticket course or cheap price. Try to charge the highest price that you can, because if you do that, you'll make more money. If people spend more on a course, they are more likely to follow through and take action, so you will have better client satisfaction and result, and also you'll be able to scale with paid ads. You will have a better profit margin, so everything is better when you have a higher price. Try to solve a problem that is painful enough to be able to charge a high price. The thing is, with my niche and my offer, I taught people how to make music. It's not life-changing. There was not like a return on investment. There was not like a huge pain that was solved. It's like you teach people how to get better at their hobby. And it so happens that this specific hobby attracts the type of people that don't really have much disposable income. The usual customer would be like 18 to 25, student, no job, no money. So they cannot spend a lot of money to do that. That's kind of the thing that I would advise you if you're thinking about launching a course or some coaching. Make sure you choose your niche and your avatar carefully, because like I said, my niche specifically didn't have enough disposable income to buy high ticket offers. Now, I'm not saying that the music niche doesn't have money, or saying that, for example, all hobby or passion don't have money to spend and are not going to buy high ticket coaching. I'm saying in my specific case, for my specific avatar, okay? I know some people who sell, for example, a coaching program on how to mix and master music and make a business out of that. And they are selling high ticket coaching of around, I think, $4,000. So even if you want to coach or sell a course about your passion, your hobby, you can sell high ticket. It just depends about the positioning and the people that you are targeting within the niche and the problem that you are solving, and also the return on investment that those people will make. You don't have to be in the marketing niche, the online business niche to be able to sell high ticket programs. There are people who sell high ticket coaching, maybe in golf, hunting, those kind of passion or hobby where people kind of spend a lot on their craft. Also in like photography, videography, all kinds of things, you can sell high ticket coaching. Now, if you make these mistakes that I've done, yes, you'll still be able to make 6 figures per year as I did, but it will be harder and you won't be able to scale past that unless you have a lot of different offers or a huge amount of traffic. If you have like millions of followers on social media, yes, you can sell a mid-ticket course and you'll be able to make 7 figures per year, but that doesn't apply to 99% of people, and especially not you if you are watching this video. If your niche doesn't have enough purchasing power to buy high ticket coaching, you will need to be able to scale with paid ads, or at least not easily. You could do it in a way, but you will need to have like a lot of different mid-ticket offer and expect a return on investment after a few months. So you would basically like be break even on the front end with paid ads, and then you will have like a huge email sequence selling them a bunch of other offers, and eventually maybe after 6 to 12 months, you would be profitable. But again, you need a lot of cash upfront to sustain that growth. So yeah, like I said, you can still sell high ticket offers in hobby or passion niche, but you need to make sure to target the right audience. So if you want to launch your online course, online coaching, or you already have one and you want to grow to 6 figures with that business, you can watch this video next. It's a case study that I made where I break down exactly a few different cases where I started different online businesses, coaching, selling online courses, and I show you exactly step by step what you need to do to get past 6 figures with your business. That's basically the 3-step process that I used to make over $1 million in sales of online courses and coaching. So it's totally free. You can click the link below this video to watch this case study. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.